pattern test back to it. Keep looking for time, but we keep cutting it close toward the bell, and that shouldn't be the case today, but we got to be efficient. Okay, so we kind of go in order. 3.5 is yesterday, 3.6 today. Okay, so you can kind of expect where things are going. Please make sure you're continuing to check, because in fact, there was like a kind of error in the answer key last night. I leave it in there to see who's paying attention. We'll talk about it a little bit today. If you're not checking, you're actually not getting as much information as your peers. Okay, so keep all that stuff in mind, but this one shouldn't be too bad. Okay? I thought you did a pretty good job yesterday. Yes, it was very different, but that's okay. This kind of set notation, we're going to utilize it for most of the year. So that's kind of why we went with it. So we'll pick up with this after the 5 minutes of announcements that we're about to draw away. Does anybody know which problem had the error, though? There was one. Do you remember? No, it was not number 2. Although they said numbers, and I think they really meant to say integers.
Good morning, DMS.
Let's do the pledge. We'll get it out. To the flag, United States of America, those that stand, one nation under God, equal justice all.
Was it 24? Yes, 22, right?
22.
Because it's
22. We'll come back to it, but it was actually 22.
Today is Wednesday, September 10th, and it is day 2. Thought will be held today and tomorrow. No self-referral. September's Fox's behavior focus of the month is being prompt. The Fox's Pride team challenges you to display promptness this week by arriving to all of your classes on time. Show respect and responsibility by being in your seat and ready to learn with no risk. A prompt start sets the tone for a successful day.
The boys soccer team fell 3-2 in a hard match against Seneca Valley yesterday. Goals were scored by Conlon Jones and Matthew Enzy Zachary. The team will take the field again this Thursday against
I
North
believe it's
Valley.
called the pitch in soccer, it's not the field.
The girls soccer team battled a hard 0-0 draw against NA Black. The SC goalies and defense allowed 3 shots all game, and the offense worked hard, but the NA goalies and the goalpost saved the day for the opposition.
The girls volleyball team scored an impressive win over Hampton yesterday. The team played their hearts out and demonstrated incredible teamwork. Key players who contributed significantly included Ellie Begg, Blakely Holmes, Casey Benatti, Lucy Carlin, and their powerful serves. And Alice McKechnie, Lily Begg, and Mayu Kamastu played critical defensive plays. Congratulations, girls!
The DMS field hockey team won their 4th regular season game, shutting out Peters yesterday 4-0. Goals in order were scored by Jillian Pekarsik assist by Lily Frank, Isabella Hoffman, assist by Reese McCaffrey, and then a direct rocket from Reese to the far corner, and to finish it off, Jillian again, assist by Molly Patrick. Our marvelous mids, Molly, Liza, Reese, and Ella, continued to dominate the field, rarely letting anything get past them to the defense.
Please dismiss the boys and girls cross-country team today at 1:40 for their away meet against the Plum Mustangs. Please dismiss the football team at 2:25 for their home opener against Seneca Valley. Good luck, Foxes!
Tomorrow is 9/11 Remembrance Day. Wear red, white, and blue. Friday is SC Proud Day. Wear your favorite Fox travel gear or red, black, and white.
Have a great day, DMS!
Okay, so number 2, I'm not thrilled with number 2 because when they say numbers, number is very generic and it didn't really fit into a great box. But the answer actually is right. To be even means you divide by 2 with no remainder. So even something like 2.4 is technically not even because 2 doesn't go in without a remainder. So I don't necessarily love that they were generic with that, but it's not technically wrong, okay? The one that actually did have the error was 22, and I don't know why they did this. Sometimes I just screenshot the answers from the book. Sometimes I change the mistakes. Sometimes I leave them in. Okay, what did they leave out? Just tell me. They left out 1. So suppose U is equal to -5, -3, -1, 3, and 5. It's basically all of the odd integers, and R is 1, 3, 5. They left out the 1. So I have no idea why. Okay, but there's nothing else wrong besides that. Good for you if you caught it. okay? Reminder, listing subsets. First thing should be the empty set every single time. I probably won't ever give you one with more than 4 elements in it. Unless you like really make my life difficult over the next week or so, then I'll give you one with like 8 elements. I'm not planning on doing that. 4 is probably the limit. Okay, and lastly, if 25 through 28 you weren't entirely sure, we did talk about this symbol very briefly. It was in your notes. This means A is contained in U. U is contained in B. I would not stress about this stuff. Okay, but that might have been something where you're like, I need to look at the answers because we didn't talk about it very much. All the other stuff was fair game. Okay, cool. Isaac, happy birthday. Okay, you have to know. Nice to see you. He's not in this class. Okay, so go to 3.6. Go to the classwork today. There's a bunch of goat pictures. There used to be a goat problem. I have since gotten rid of it, but I decided I'm going to keep the pictures. So if you want to know why are the goat pictures there, it's because I like them and I didn't feel like changing them, okay? So no one needs to ask me. We're going to look at compound inequalities. A little bit of this got covered in pre-algebra. Some of it definitely did not, and I know why. There are a couple of different kinds of compound inequalities. Let's actually look at the one on the left first. One of the graphs of a compound inequality is called an AND inequality. And you know what AND means. This and that. So if I was going to say x is greater than or equal to 3, that is the red. Close circle, and where? To the right? Yes? Is this accurate? I also have x is less than or equal to 7. Closed on 7 and to the left. This is also accurate. Question. Are there any numbers that are both greater than 3 and less than 7? Yes, there are. There are plenty of them. Okay? So that is why, I don't know why we'd be talking. I wonder if I could break that up back there. That's why we can write this as a compound inequality. We can go closed circle on 3, closed circle on 7, and we can connect them. I think you did a very, very, very small amount of these last year, like minuscule, 1 or 2 questions maybe. The other way I could write this inequality is I could write it like this. I could write 3 is less than or equal to x, which is what? Less than or equal to 7. A little bit of this last year, but not a lot. I could think of like one review packet where she gave you some with 2 circles. Okay, that's an example of an AND inequality. They overlap. This and that overlap, so we cut it off and we write this interval a little bit. This did not get covered last year. She never does this, and I know why she doesn't. Another kind of inequality, or compound inequality, is OR. You know what OR means in your life. It can be either this, usually somebody chimes in and says, or that. Can't be both of them, but it can be either or. Look at this particular example. This is the graph of x is less than -2. Open circle to the left. This is the graph of x is greater than or equal to 1, closed and to the right. Same question. Are there any numbers that are both less than -2 and also greater than or equal to 1? No. So we can't connect them. We have an OR, okay, which I also call splitsies. This is going in this direction. This is going in that direction. You are either this or that. Am I right? You didn't do any ORs last year? I know why she doesn't do ORs. I wouldn't do them in pre-algebra either, okay? There's no way to write this like this. You specifically need to write it as 2. You would write x is less than -2 or x is greater than or equal to 1. Okay, so it's not too bad today, but it is a little bit different when we talk about these compound inequalities. I have a couple other examples for you to just look at. All real numbers, I told you I'm keeping the goat picture, so they're just there. All real numbers that are greater than -2 and less than 6. Can you be greater than -2 and also less than 6? Yeah. So that's why they have an open circle on -2, an open circle on 6, and since it is an and, it is connected, and I would write it just like this. -2, less than n, less than 6. Does anyone want to take a shot at what the interval notation for this would be? I haven't done that in like 2 days. Anyone want to try it? No one wants to try it? Charlie?
Parentheses, -2, comma, parentheses, 6.
Well, 6 parentheses. Now that really looks like an ordered pair, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's right. Good job, okay? So that's an and right there. Take a look at the or. All real numbers that are less than 0 or greater than or equal to 5. There are no numbers that fit both conditions. If you have one in your mind, it's the wrong number. So it's either this or that. Okay, and that graph represents it. Now, if you're going to write the interval notation for this, you have to write it in 2 pieces. So what would this be? I want to take a shot at this piece. This piece right here. Lesson. That's a good infinity. Go ahead. Okay, and then want to take a shot at this piece right here. Okay, Matthew.
Brackets 5, and then comma, infinity,
Ooh, good job. Look at us. Okay, then actually the way that you put them together, there's one symbol you put in between. Football fans know. Do you know what this is? The U. Who's the U?
Miami.
Yeah, okay, good. We have one football fan in here. Good. You put the U in between. That means or union. You have to write it in 2 pieces. Okay? We'll get a chance to practice this game. It shouldn't be too bad. So these are called compound inequalities. You can have an and, which is connected, or you can have an or. I usually refer to or as splitsies. It's either split in here or there, and you can either be this or that, but you can't be both of them. Okay? Cool. We'll get a little bit of solving going, but let's talk about just a graph. What would a graph of -2 is less than y is less than or equal to 14? Since that's connected, I'm going to label it an and. And let's get a number line on there. Now, we don't need to draw this to scale. We could spend 15 minutes drawing this to scale with everything. We don't have time for that. We just need to be accurate. So really, there's only 2 numbers I need to see on this line, and I want them reasonably close. What do you think those numbers are?
-2 and 14.
Okay, I don't really care about the rest of them. So I'm going to put -2 over here, and I'm going to put 14 over there. If they gave me a number line, I would maybe scale it, but I just need you to get the gist of it, okay? Question to the group, is this going to be connected like the left, or is it going to be splitsies like the right? Connected, because it's an and. Because you can be greater than -2 and also less than or equal to 14. But what kind of circles are these going to get? In that order? Yes. Open on -2 because it's just not equal to. And closed on 14 because it is equal to. And then we're going to go connected. Good. And everything I shaded are the numbers that are both greater than -2 and less than or equal to 14. They're all in that range. Okay? Interval notation? Anyone want it? You're doing a great job of trying these. You're doing a great job of trying these. Flynn?
Parentheses, -2 on the 14 bracket.
Nice. Look at us. We're making progress. Now, somebody asked the other day, will you ever let us do the interval notation instead of the graph? Yeah, there will be problems where I say you can just do that. You just got to read the directions. Today I'm probably going to have you do both of them, but when you're more comfortable with both of them, you get better off. These are actually all saying the same thing. This is saying the same thing as that, is saying the same thing as that. Okay? Good. Look okay so far? Because we're going to get to the solving. Okay, so let's actually talk about the solving. I think I'm on the bottom. Is Tetris still a thing?
I cannot unsee that.
You can. You'd be surprised at how quickly you'll forget it. What you probably didn't do last year was solve these inequalities. Okay? We all right back there? It's one of my leading candidates for I can do assigned seats for this class. I mean, I can. You probably didn't do a lot of solving inequalities. I'm pretty sure that she's got like one review packet where she had you graph some things like this. I think it's an accentuate the negative. The solving, that's not something that you did much of. That's what we're going to focus on in here. Usually, I love what the book does. I actually don't love what the book does on this one. I'm going to show it to you anyway. -4 is less than r minus 5, less than or equal to -1. That is an and, because it's connected. Here's what they do. They split it into 2 inequalities. -4 is less than r minus 5. And what's the other one? R minus 5 is less than or equal to -1. They solve them independently, and then they put them back together. That is fine, but what I want you to notice is they're being solved with the same steps. So while what the book is showing you there is legit, I actually wouldn't do it that way. Here's what I would do for an and. See, now it's gone. It's gone. No one's stopping you from thinking about it later on your own time. This is not your time. Here's what I would do. Rather than split it into two, I would just solve it all at once. How do you want to get r by itself? You all know the answer to this. Apparently you all do. Add 5? So instead of just adding 5 there, add 5 everywhere. Negative 4 plus 5 is 1, less than, these cancel, you're just left with r, less than or equal to 4. That's how I solve an and. I don't really like splitting it into two and then putting it back together. I think it's just extra writing that's not necessary. So I solved it like this. This would be an open circle and a closed, connected because it's and if I felt like doing the interval notation, it would look very much like the one that he just gave me. So my advice is for an and, just solve it all at once. I don't know if that logic makes sense. Okay, but I just did plus 5 everywhere and carried my work down. Okay? I think are there 3 of them? Next page?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I want you to solve all 3. I want you to graph them and put them in interval notation. You can work together if you want, but if it's too rambunctious, I'll break you up. Or you can work solo. It's up to you. Without being too rambunctious. Solve it, graph it, put the interval notation down. Oh, not now, Smoothie King. I love Smoothie King. Anybody been to Smoothie King? I love it. It's so good.
Was this all smoothie?
I passed one up in area when we were going up to.
There you go. All right, solve it, graph it, put in interval notation. Solve it, graph it, interval notation. Good one. Even if you're not going to work together, feel free to check with each other, like, okay, did you get this? What did you think?
That's all I just had to say was.
What'd you get for number for this one?
What'd you get for number?
I get this.
Can I see thumbs up for the first one if it looks good? Thumbs down if it doesn't. to the side if there's any issues. I got -7 less than or equal to m less than or equal to -4. It looks good? Not good? Sadie says it looks good. It must be good. It must be good. We have the graph with the closed circles. It's connected.
Tons of become up.
If you can't divide by 6, you might want to think about that. Can't subtract 20, you might want to think about that as well. I'll leave it on the board for another few seconds, then move on to the next one. Yeah, right there. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Kelvin. Oh wait, no. Kelvin is this. No, Kelvin is
just call Colin Kelvin.
Kelvin is his name in fact.
All right, focus over there. I actually think you're better off distributing. You could multiply through and wipe it out, but did anybody notice that 1/3 goes into them very quickly? Yeah, I just distributed. Then I added 3 everywhere. So I got -5 less than 2x less than or equal to 6. I divided everybody by 2. So I got -2.5 less than x less than or equal to 3. Or 5/2. I mean, they're the same thing. How's that one look? That one looks good? Yeah. Okay. Now, graphically, I told you, I don't need a ton, but I can't have you getting too sloppy. So I'm going to put a closed circle on 3. -2.5 is in between what? -2 and -3. I would like your graph to look like this. I'm very reasonable with these graphs. But that's what we're looking for. I cannot just have you put a point at -2.5. That's sloppy. Show me you can do -2 and -3 halfway. And that's open and closed. The interval notation would be this and the math. Now for those of you that got to work on the last one a little bit, you might have said, wait a minute, there's a negative coefficient. Question to the group, do you think we're still going to have to reverse the signs? Yeah, that's a rule at all times. So let's just solve this one together. If you already have it, you're checking. I would add 16 everywhere first. So everywhere, plus 16 all the way across. What's this, 4? Less than -2m, less than, what's this, 12?
Yeah.
Divide everybody by -2. You're going to have to reverse both inequality signs. So 4 by -2 is -2. Reverse. M. Reverse. What's this guy, -6? Okay, that answer is right. Let me give you some advice. That's allowed. I would take the 4 seconds it takes to rewrite it like this. I'll tell you why. First of all, what would this look like graphically? What would I have? What kind of circles on each of them? Open. And would this be connected? Or splitsies? They've all been connected so far. So boom, boom, boom. That's your answer. Here's why I highly recommend you rewrite this like this. I know a lot of you think you don't have 4 seconds. You don't feel like it. You do. Does anybody know why? You know what you might do wrong with this?
For the writing the parentheses or brackets, then you might write it backwards.
Absolutely. If you write this like this, it's wrong. Because it needs to be read in order. This says I'm going left to right from -2 to -6, which is wrong. So you are much less likely to make that mistake if you rewrite it like this. There's your actual answer. So this one, you do have to reverse both inequality signs. Nothing has changed. Your regular solving rules are still there, but you got to flip it, get your answer. Okay? Are you allowed to leave it like this? Sure, but buyer beware. Do not leave it like this and then goof up the interval notation. I'll have no sympathy for you. This takes 4 seconds to rewrite the right way. That's what I've determined. 4 seconds. Questions about those 3? You can ask. Keep in mind, if you don't ask a question when I give you plenty of time, I'm assuming you're good. Questions about any of those 3? I think that approach is better personally. If you look back at the book, I don't think it's worth splitting it into two inequalities. You can. I think it's better to just solve it all at once. Just be careful. Okay? Now, we didn't talk about ORs. You can't solve ORs all at the same time. Let's look at why. If I look at this, oh, come on. This thing really doesn't want to work in your class. 4v plus 3 is less than negative 5, or negative 2v plus 7 is less than 1. Why can't I solve that all at once? Okay?
The two terms separate equality.
They're totally different. They have totally different first steps. What would you do here? Subtract 3?
Yeah.
What would you do here?
Okay, so
Okay, so you can't solve them all at once. So, if it's an OR, it doesn't matter how fast you want to get done, you have to solve them independently. Now, the solving is not bad. Subtract 3, divide by 4, boom, b is less than negative 2. Subtract 7, divide by negative 2, oh snap. Divide by negative 2, guess what? Flip it. b is greater than 3. Question to the group. Can you be less than negative 2 and also greater than 3? No, that doesn't mean no solution. What does that mean today? It's not an and, it's actually it's an or. This is what I call split C's. Either or. Can't be both of them. It's just one or the other. Okay, that's kind of the way it goes. But you have to solve them independently. Okay, so if we were doing this, we have no choice. Let's see, Alan, what would you do first on this one?
I would first simplify the 4m plus.
This one.
Then I would subtract the 7.
Okay, so let's subtract 7. So this becomes negative 15 less than negative 3m. Keep
and
going.
Then divide by negative 3, and don't forget to change the direction.
I won't. Negative 15 divided by negative 3 is positive 5. What happens to this guy, everybody? Good. That's 5 is greater than m. I don't like that. I'm going to rewrite that as what? M is less than 5. Okay. Cool. I like it. Let's see. Sadie, what do you want to do first on this one?
Distribute the 4.
Okay. Was anybody going to divide by 4 first? You're allowed to do that too. I'm going to show what she said though. So we're going to distribute. By the way, you should be doing this as I'm doing it. Some of you maybe started a little bit ahead. Sadie, keep it rolling. What do you want to do now?
And then you subtract it all.
From each side. So that lands me here. And how do you want to finish up?
Divide each side by 4.
Great job. Okay. I know it started out as an or, but let's make sure it's still an or. Okay? Nora, are there any numbers out there that are less than 5 and also greater than or equal to 12? No. So that means we're going to stick what word in between here? Good. Graphically, I only need 5 and 12 on there. Again, I'm reasonable with the graphs. If you don't think I'm reasonable, I can point you in a lot of directions where they'll make you put more on there. Okay? What kind of circles are going on each of these? Open on 5 and on 12. And we're going to the left? No, from here to the right. And from here we're going to the left, to the left. Everybody clap your hands. That's how it goes. I hate those dances. I don't do any line dances. None. 0. Cupid shuffle, none of that stuff. Can't do it. Questions about that? Good, nobody asked why. Okay, try this one, Hero. Yeah, I decided we don't do the goat problem anymore, but that didn't mean I need to take the pictures out. They're good. Anybody like the one of the goat and the cat being friends? That was good. Yeah, friends. Yes.
How would you write in here?
Great question. We're going to do that in this next one. We actually did one earlier, but we're going to hit it again on this one. Question. Do I have to flip the sign on this first one? No, good. You have to be dividing by a negative coefficient. Just because this is negative, that doesn't mean the whole thing turns around. So I got h is less than negative 3. I do have to flip on the other one, do I not? So h is greater than 1. So I got h is less than -3 and h is greater than 1. I don't know how that looks to anybody.
I got that.
Is that an or?
Yes.
Correct. So it's going to be splitsies. Good. Splitsies is not an official term. If you look it up in an algebra book, you're not going to find it, but that's okay.
It should be.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, you know what it should be. You're right. Splitsies here, here. Okay. Liza just asked, how do you write it in interval notation? We did one of them. We haven't done it since. We have to do it in 2 pieces. Charlie, you want this first piece?
It's parentheses, negative infinity,
Look at that infinity. Go ahead.
comma, -3.
Does anybody remember what goes in between them? The U. U stands for union. It means this and then union with that. Okay? Go ahead. Right side.
Me?
U.
Parentheses 1, comma, infinity.
That's an even better infinity. Wait till we do the infinity drawing contest this year. We'll see who knows what's up.
Oh, wait.
It's not till later. It's too early. It's too soon. If you can't draw infinities, it's only September. You got plenty of time to practice.
When is it?
I don't like to tell you that. Okay. We're gonna do a little bit more together. Then I'm gonna let you finish out a couple on your own. I think we need to do this one together. To earn a B in your algebra class, I already am upset because algebra should be capitalized. Please capitalize the A in algebra. Or, ooh, how do you mark it? Do you know how to do this?
3 lots.
3 lines.
Good job. Yeah. Wow. Algebra is a proper noun. Also an unbelievable course. To earn a B in your algebra class, you must achieve an unrounded test average between 84 and 86 inclusive. That's actually an important word. Yes. You scored a 78, 78, and 79 on the first 3 out of 4 tests. Not a good start. Let's just call it what it is. Okay, rough start. Is it possible for you to earn a B in the course? We're going to assume 100 is the max you can earn on a test grade. We're not going to explain. We're going to show it. Okay? So, huh? Yeah, well, we're off to a rough start. You might have already guessed this might be difficult. Okay? Now, you have no interest in getting higher than a B, apparently, as this problem goes on. Okay? So, how do you calculate average?
You add
Add them up, divide by how many there are. We've taken 3 tests, there's 1 left. So we're going to let X be our 4th test. And our average is 78 plus 78 plus 79. Yeah, go ahead and say it. Plus X divided by 4. And we want this to be in a certain range. We want a B. Remember, we only want a B. We don't want to go higher than a B. We just want exact B. Between 84 and 86 inclusive. The inclusive matters. So we need this to be greater than or equal to, I heard it. But again, we're not interested in going above a B for some reason, even though it's probably not possible. So this also has to be less than or equal to. How do I know it's or equal to? Bang, inclusive. That's what inclusive means. It means it can be in 84, it can be in 86. I'm going to go ahead and guess we're off to a rough start with those first 3, but hey, you never know. You got to take the 4th test anyway. How do you want to solve this? I like that. Multiply 3 by 4. If we multiply 3 by 4, this guy goes away. 84 times 4, you can do that. 8 times 4 is 32. So 320 plus 16 more. Oh, a little hack. If these are only 2 apart,
Just multiply 2 by
good. These are going to be 8 apart, so you don't have to redo it. So that's what, 344? Less than or equal to. We can add these up right now. You know what I would do? 80 plus 80 plus 80 minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what I would do.
235.
Good job. That's how I would do it. Plus X. What's the last step to solve for X? Subtract 235 everywhere. $101 less than or equal to X less than or equal to, what's that, 109? That's what we have to get on our fourth test. Are we able to do it? No, sad times.
Times are
What's the maximum?
Well, let's be honest. If you get a 78, 78, and 79, you can't be surprised that you're having a hard time hitting the 84 to 86 average. Okay? It's actually close, but still not possible. Okay? Cool. Couple quick things. I'm going to be working on a few problems in groups without me, spending too much time mentioning it. What you'll have at the bottom, I'm not going to reread these to you. I promised you I'd give you interval notation notes. Here they are. I know we went over it the other day, and you were like, where are these notes? Here are the notes. So if you're not sure, when do I use parentheses? When do I use brackets? When do I use infinity? These are notes right there that you're welcome to look at any time. I think a lot of you actually have a good grasp on it. If you don't, and you want to start practicing, these notes will help you, okay? There's 4 of them. I would like for you to work on the 4 of them. It's okay if you want to work in a group. If you want to work solo, that's also fine. I want you to solve, graph, put in interval notation. These are our last ones for the day.
That's good.
Please no whistling. That's because I can't do it. You can't whistle, do it? Never been able to do it.
How did you know that? You're special. Yes, proper grammar. You are much specialer.
As you're working, I will pass your test back to you. Please, I said this and I mean it. Your test is your business. If I see you looking at other people's tests, pointing at it, I'm going to get upset. Don't do it. Look at your own paper, and then if you have questions, you can talk to me. Okay, I'll pass that a little bit later. You keep working.
I'm not sure what you meant.
Scratch and snip right there for those that are able
Yeah, you told me. You definitely do that. You definitely do that. Five guys. Multiply by 2, and then we get the 1/2, and then the quad thingy with the bottom thing, whatever.
I hope to not give anybody the wrong test. I
Plus
feel like I
7.
got your names down.
Plus 7. 7.5. Then 2x. It's 0.5. Did you cut someone in half? 0.5? Did you cut someone in half? Why are now my table is Seven to 5, 17.
Whoa, loading. That was wild.
Yeah.
Yes, your test is your business, and if you have individual questions, you can ask me another time.
Shut up. Have you ever heard that one thing? That's such a fast. How do you know this one? It's The 100%.
No, I'm gonna say.
I said, you know that one.
I'll be putting answers up slowly in a minute or two. You can keep going, they can do all of them.
I bet it's military doesn't really work on the weapons, I guess. Wasn't there aliens that were expensive probably for weapons? That is not. That is.
Doesn't happen often, but it happens sometimes. Graph the solution, not the problem. I'm going to start going through them. You don't have to be done, but I'm going to start at least with the first one. Come on, keep going. Just remember, I'll show them. Can I see hands up for 5 is less than x, less than or equal to 14? First one? Ooh, yay, good job. Okay, shouldn't be too bad. I actually divided first, but you could have distributed. It's the same work. Graphically, remember I want the graph and interval notation. What should we have? What kind of circles here? Are they both open?
Yeah.
No. Open, close. Yes?
Yes.
Open on 5, close on 14. Is this connected or splitsies? Connected. Interval notation looks like this. Bada bing. There's your first one. Second one's got some fractions / decimals, I know. You'll survive. You know how I know? Because I've had plenty of other Algebra I classes and they're all still with us.
We're going to survive. Hopefully. Just gonna have plan for the bottom.
You like that code? You like this code, potentially?
No, that's
Braces, oh, I remember the day.
nice braces.
That's not go.
That is not from this solar system.
That is not.
Who here, wait, no, I'm not gonna say who has braces. Later in the year, I'll play the game brace or no brace, where I guess if you have them or not, so nobody tell me if you do.
Everybody's mouths are gonna be shut.
Yeah, I won't look. I remember years ago, I had one student very offended that I didn't know that she had braces. I'm like, I don't look at your mouth that in detail, so. She was so offended. I'm like, I'm sorry. So that's why we play brace or no brace, but not today. It's like
If
deal or
someone
no
loses,
deal.
then they have to get brace.
Be careful on the second one. It's all fun and games until someone gets it wrong.
That's
There's fractions on that one. 100%.
or decimals. What? That's not what I said.
It's very important.
No, not.
Okay, the second one. And by the way, I gave you such a good head start. I gave you such a good head start. You should be done with the second one. Did anybody else multiply 3 by 4? You didn't have to. Did anybody do that? Can I see hands? Okay. If you want to take that approach, that's cool. However, what happens to the middle? It doubles. If you're going to multiply 3 by 4, that's fine, but this doubles. You have to distribute. You do end up with some gross fractions, but you know what? Sometimes, hey, the times where I pull you back in, I need you. Sometimes algebra is gross. You can't avoid fractions forever. So if that's the case, you end up with 15/4 is less than x is less than 17/2, or you could go with the mixed numbers, okay? Or, wait, it's 3 and 3/4. Yeah, it's 3 3/4. Or you could go with the decimals, which is what, 3.75 is less than x is less than 8.5. Okay? Can't avoid fractions forever. You can try, won't work. In fact, the sooner you embrace fractions, the easier the course will become for you. Okay? Finish up the last two.
Check your notes.
How many?
Just go check your notes.
Oh, it's just like real numbers.
Is that a uniform or is that a go?
It's a go.
That's something you used to play already. Remember when you said you really wanted to remember when you were the first time you said you already wanted to be I'm talking to Tom.
Yeah.
It's not something. No, I'm just bringing about old fun memories. That's it.
Technically, we all are always moving because the end is moving and we are on it.
Let's talk about the third one. And by let's talk, I mean I'm going to start talking about it and need you to be with me here. You got to be able to go back and forth. I don't mind you working on stuff, but like if we're together, we got to be together. Okay? Be very careful. Okay? An or can start as an or and become an and. That actually doesn't happen here, but it can happen when you flip signs. Let's actually solve it. This guy's just distribute negative x plus 5, subtract 5. Are you going to have to flip the sign on this one? Yes. You can multiply or divide by negative 1. They're like the same thing, kind of. You get x is greater than negative 4. Subtract 8, divide by negative 4, flip it around. X is less than or equal to negative 12. Just ask yourself, can you be less than negative 12 and also greater than negative 4? No, so it remains an or. Not sure if you saw it stayed that way. But sometimes an or can become an and. If one of the signs flips and the other one doesn't, it might turn into 1, but that didn't happen here. How do I do the interval notation for this? Anybody want to give me the whole shebang? Whole thing? Okay. Thea? Just go. Just read it off to me.
Parentheses, negative 4, comma,
Okay, that's actually the right side. What about the first side?
parentheses, negative infinity, comma, negative 12.
How do we close it, everybody?
Brackets.
What goes in between? The U for union. You can also just write the word or if you forget. I would take that as well. Okay? So that one shouldn't be too bad. Let's talk about the last one. Okay, if you finished it, great. If you already got it done, you're checking. If you didn't get to the last one, I'm going to do it now. How do you want to begin this one?
Put the 4 on the left side and the 7 on the right side.
I would distribute.
Yeah.
I think we should all distribute, okay? Please watch this one. I want to make sure everybody walks out with the last one good. We're going to keep this the same. We're going to distribute. So what is that, everybody? Negative 4x minus 8 plus 8. Oh, that's nice. What happens to those? Okay, now, I told you the other day, make wise decisions. Negative coefficients are a bad idea. So I would not subtract this 2x over because then you're going to have to flip the sign. Make it easier on yourself. I would add this 4x over, and then what do you want to do with this minus 7? Add that over. That lands you here. Oh, I can't even write it.
6.
Stop it, what that's not
Come on.
7.
I flipped it, so like you can't say it. That's 76. That's a different number. Can't do it. See, now I can't remember if it's less than because I had to flip it because like seriously, we can't move on. I thought like
X
youth.
is less
I
than
thought
76.
youth, and you are all youth out there. I thought you were like supposed to like always move on to the next thing. I've been hearing that number and that thing for like 5 months. It's like move on.
I don't hear that.
Move on. Move on. Wait. The sad part is, I've had this problem for like 15 years, and now I'm like, I'm not changing it just to appease your culture. Move on. Find something else. Anything else. Of course, now whatever you find next will probably be worse, okay? Probably. I don't even know what that means, and I also don't even care. So I've reached that state in my life, which is like perfect. That is the answer. X is less than or equal to 7 over 6, not the other way around. That is your answer, okay? Questions about any of the stuff we did today? Test stuff. As I mentioned, I don't care what grade you got. You should flip through it and make sure you're good with how it's graded in the notes I made. If you have individual questions, you can ask me. It is your test to keep. I don't need it back right now. Please put it in the same spot. I don't want to see you compare with other people. Hate that. Well, I can do that problem. The good news is, I don't even know whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but I also know I don't need to see it to know what's going on. No, it's not quite a match of your picture. That's gotta be group. Then minus 1, that's gotta be and minus 1. It's 1 I use that. If it's not wrong, it's not shown to match.